Finally, we are back on the ice. A couple teams very, very happy. Some teams not started too well. Welcome into the Sporting News studio. I'm Tom Vandervoort. Joining me now on the phone for 5 Hole, our weekly NHL column, our NHL writer Jesse Spector. And Jesse, a couple 6-0 teams in the league, the Sharks and the Blackhawks. Talk to me about the Blackhawks and how impressive have they been to you so far?
Chicago, they've just been fantastic. They've got pretty much their entire roster back from last season, and that's helped them quite a bit, having that familiarity and not having to spend any time getting to know each other the way that a lot of teams do. Everybody that's been playing has been kind of firing on all cylinders. Marian Hossa, Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, Patrick Sharp, and really Corey Crawford is looking like he's taken that step forward that they've needed him to take in goal. This was a team in Chicago that had 5 overtime games in their playoff series with the Coyotes last year, and they lost 3 of them, and then lost Game 6 in regulation. That's a team that things could have gone very differently for a year ago, and they really weren't that far away from making some real noise, and now you can see just what they're capable of.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. We talk about getting off to a fast start, and one of the things that we see is these games are just coming fast and furious. I mean, if you look up, your team is probably playing. A lot of times we see a team going back-to-back, maybe against an opponent that has at least a day of rest. How is that working out so far for the team, you know, that has that extra game?
The teams that are getting the extra rest are the ones who are succeeding in these games. There have been 26 games so far between a team on the second end of a back-to-back and a team that had a day of rest before the game. And the teams getting the extra rest have won all but 9 of those games. You can really see it when there are penalties, too, that the special teams, the legs just aren't necessarily there for these teams on their second day playing back-to-back. And that's really hurt some teams. I mean, you look at the Philadelphia Flyers. Ilya Bryzgalov has the 3rd best save percentage in the NHL at even strength. But the Flyers are 2-5, and part of that is the 2 games that they've played on those back-to-backs against rested teams.
Now, talk to me about what we're seeing in Phoenix, because you mentioned their triumph over the Blackhawks in the playoffs last year, and obviously Mike Smith was a huge reason why. This year, he's been battling some injuries. They've given up a fair number of goals during their 2-4 start here. So how does the goaltending situation look for Phoenix, especially now after Chad Johnson steps up and shuts out the Predators?
Yeah, Mike Smith is still going to be the guy when he gets healthy, and that should be toward the end of the week. He's eligible to come off injured reserve today on Wednesday as we talk. It's probably going to take a couple more days, but he's still going to be the guy, and the Coyotes are going to need him to be himself over the course of the season. Now, it will be interesting if Chad Johnson, coming off of a shutout, his first NHL shutout in 7 appearances, can maybe challenge Jason LeBarbera for that backup job. LeBarbera played well when he came on in relief of Smith and got the Coyotes' first win of the year. He then struggled against Anaheim and San Jose before Johnson got a start and was able to get that shutout. So Sean Burke is one of the best goalie coaches in the league, if not the best, just for what he's able to do time after time, helping guys transform themselves. And really, it's been a tradition there in Phoenix of just having goalies kind of come out of nowhere and be able to do things for you. That includes Ilya Bryzgalov and Mike Smith. I would not worry too much about the Coyotes getting their goaltending in order. It should be something that they're able to do in fairly short order.
All right, very good. Now, I know you get some interesting questions from your readers every week, and one of them this week was, is it too early to hate Bruins rookie defenseman Dougie Hamilton? So what do you think? Too early to hate him, or should we start hating right now if we're not Bruins fans?
If you're not a Bruins fan, you can just get ahead of yourself and start hating this guy right about now. There's nothing to dislike about his game or who he is as a person, but yeah, he's going to frustrate people for a long time, and Toronto especially, that Hamilton came over with the draft pick that was part of the Phil Kessel trade. You already had Tyler Seguin that way going to the Bruins off of the draft pick in that Kessel trade, and that's going to haunt the Maple Leafs for a long time because Dougie Hamilton looks like he is the real deal at 19 years old.
Yeah, it's the young talent, man. You can't beat it in this league. Listen, Jesse, thanks. Look forward to talking to you every week during the season.
All right, thank you.